Hey guys, welcome to Snake Nook. I'm Vanny and this is Summer. He is my sub-adult, soon to be adult spider ball python. He's hanging out with me for this intro, appropriately so. So Summer, how's it going? So the Summer's hanging out with me for a little while. The topic of this video, guys, it is October 2025. And that spooky time of the year is just around the corner, and the spider gene sure has spooked me. So I thought it was about time that I talk about what it's like keeping two ball pythons with the spider gene. What are my experiences with these guys and what have I observed? And I'll also share some things that I know about the spider gene. You're gonna wanna stay tuned. The spider gene, quite possibly the ball python's curse. Hear me out, guys. All smiles and happiness aside, this video has been very, very difficult for me to put together for you all. Not that anyone is asking for it, mind you, but it is something that I have been wanting to share because I made some observations with Wynter. She's my other spider ball python that you'll see in a bit. I would say between the spring of 2025 and the summer of 2025, I made some observations that were quite concerning as far as Wynter's neurological condition, well, the state of her neurological condition, and it was really worrisome. And I've had it in the back of my mind ever since that I want to talk about it, and I want to just kind of bring some of my experiences to light. I do want to preface this video by saying that if you are sensitive when it comes to the welfare and well-being to animals, well, I think we all are, but if you are especially sensitive and if seeing animals in any form of distress is definitely something that you're uncomfortable with, I do want to warn you that parts of this video will show footage of one of my ball pythons appearing to be in distress because of her neurological condition that results from having the spider gene. So I just want to preface the video with a bit of a warning, if you will. So just in case, I just don't want to make anybody uncomfortable that doesn't want to be uncomfortable. I just want to let you know that that's upcoming. So let me just go ahead and give you a little bit of thoughts that I have on this gene, a little bit about what I know, and then we'll get into pretty much what will be mostly footage of the snakes. So the spider gene was originally discovered in nature, in a snake that was out in nature, and it was brought into captivity and then it was bred. This is a long time ago, guys. I believe this was back in the 90s or so, long time ago. And so it was a gene that was found naturally in the wild. However, I do not believe, this is just my thought, my belief, that the spider gene has elaborate populations of royal pythons out there in the savannas and the grasslands of Africa, because nature is all about survival of the fittest. And what you see out there hunting in nature in the deepest, darkest depth under the moon that exist in the wilds of places like Africa, it really is survival specialists that make it out there. So I don't think that there are all of these populations of spider ball pythons existing out there. I know it is a gene that has been found in the wild, but my thought on that is it must have been an oddity. I don't think there were a bunch of them out there. I think it may have just been a few, or I have no way of proving that other than I'm just putting two and two together. In nature, guys, it really is about who is the fittest. Nature is unkind to any weaklings, to animals that have any sorts of, you know, just any conditions that could keep them from hunting or from searching for prey even appropriately. I think that the spider gene is definitely something that can hold back a royal in the wild. So while it is found in nature, it's probably not, you know, in every other royal out there. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's move on from that. I want to show you something here with Summer. So Summer has reduction not only in the royal python pattern, in the typical royal python pattern. He has no alien heads or keyholes at all, really, and he has a lot of white. He's kind of like almost like a white, high white spider, and that's what the spider gene does. It appears to be a single gene that wipes out color, but at the same time affects the snake neurologically. So it basically affects how the animal can right itself. It manifests itself in the form of a wobble, the condition does. When it's time to eat, they'll have that little wobble. He will anyway, but it's very mild. His condition is quite mild, and you really won't see the wobble much other than at feeding time, and when I do see it, it's brief. So he does not appear to be affected too much. But we're going to talk about Wynter now, because she's on a whole nother side of this, guys. It's the situation with Wynter. So I decided to get Wynter so you could all see her. So here's Wynter, and right off, right as I took hold of her, look where her head is. That's, yeah, that's Wynter. When we first got Wynter, we got her from the same, well, let me tell you about her. We got her from the same breeder that we got Autumn, and I was actually looking for a blue-eyed Lucy. That's how I even came to have Wynter, and he had blue-eyed Lucies for sale, but at that time for me the price was a little steep. So I said, you know, I'm gonna think about it. I'm not ready with that amount of money. And so he said he had another kind of white ball python, and he said he had a white whiting, and he told me it's a white snake with black eyes. I decided to do my research before deciding on getting one, and I let him know I'd get back to him. And that's when I went down this whole rabbit hole of just getting more into understanding the spider gene. And I made the decision to get her as well. I already had Summer, and Summer was from a big chain pet store. And the only reason why we purchased Summer is because I had never seen a spider ball python at a big chain pet store, and I found it odd that he was there. And I don't regret getting him because I haven't seen one since, and it's been a few years. So it's not like, well, why'd you get it, Vanny? They're, you know, they just get more of those. I haven't seen another spider ball python since. So I don't regret getting him at all, because I knew that I would look into how to take good care of him. And, you know, employees at the big chain pet stores, they don't always tell you what you need to know. So sure enough, they didn't equip me with any useful information on caring for a spider ball python. So when I got her, things were kind of strange. After, you know, just researching the spider gene more in depth, I decided I'm gonna ask for a female. That way it's one less spider ball python female being bred. The whole time I was in communication with the breeder, he assured me, and he was keeping her till she was eating very well, till she had had like 5 or 6 meals. That was great. And when it came time for me to finally purchase her, pick her up, all that, he assured me that she didn't have a wobble at mealtime. That was my concern. I had asked, how bad is the wobble at mealtime? I would want to ask something like that just to make sure that I know what's going on. So he said, no, there's no wobble. There's no wobble at all. She eats very normally, no worries. Well, he was right about that. There wasn't a wobble because she straight up corkscrews, which is a whole nother level of the spider gene. So I have Summer on the one end of the neurological condition, who appears to be minimally affected by the condition. But then I have Wynter, who is deeply affected by the condition. She can corkscrew all night. I'm pretty certain of it, because there have been nights, if I'm not sleeping too well, or I don't have to work the next day, it's the weekend, whatever, and I happen to see her in the middle of the night. She is in my bedroom, by the way, so I can see her whenever. If I do see her in the middle of the night corkscrewing away, I will take her out of her enclosure, calm her down, let her have a brief outing, and sometimes that's all she needs, and she'll go back into her hide and get some rest. Or at least she will stop doing this the entire night, because that's what she does. And you'll see it in a bit, because we're gonna move on to some footage of the snakes, and then I will just give you a little more info on those anecdotal notes I have on these guys. But it has not been easy, because it's heartbreaking to see your snake with a condition such as a neurological condition that results from the spider gene. Hey guys, so this is Wynter. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. She's just made a mess of her enclosure. She's been trying to finish shedding. She's got mess all over the glass. I'll have to take care of her enclosure in a little while, and then I'll have to soak her later today. But this is what I see going on with her neurological condition, every other night. It's heartbreaking. With her, it's just a lot of being aware when she's doing all that corkscrewing. And like I said, if I happen to catch it in the middle of the night, and I can't sleep, or it happens to be a weekend night, I'm gonna take her out. And even if it's for 15-20 minutes, but I'm gonna take her out. I'm gonna let her get a break from her enclosure, and I kind of let her get past that corkscrewing, and then put her back in her enclosure so I can go back to bed. But it does require more than just the regular commitment to owning a royal python. All right guys, let's go ahead and move on to some other footage of these guys. So this is a little later in the morning, after Wynter was having that difficult shed, and I'm giving her a bit of a soak here. Now snakes aren't too tall, so the water level is actually at about a ½ inch, guys. Maybe just a little over, but not even. And I have to watch her carefully. I'm gonna have to go upstairs in a bit and finish cleaning her enclosure, and she's gonna have to go with me. I can't right now. I have her on the kitchen table, but she can't stay here by herself. I'm gonna have to take her upstairs with me. I need to watch her just in case she flips over and can't right herself. Then I have to help her. That's one of the things about the spider gene and its severity, that snakes can have a difficult time righting themselves if they happen to be upside down. Even just the head and neck area can be upside down, and they won't fix that. They can't fix it sometimes. So I have to keep a close eye on her when she is soaking. And that's why I make sure too that I have a smaller water bowl for her. I don't use anything too big just because I don't ever want to have a situation where, you know, she's drinking water, something happens, she can't right herself up. I'm not even going to try to have a situation like that. So we're keeping her water bowl small. When she does, though, go into shed, we can place a second water bowl, but sometimes it's just not enough. So I'm going to go ahead and take her upstairs in a bit so that I can keep a close eye on her while I'm also cleaning her enclosure, getting things all nice and ready for her. But that is definitely something to be aware of when you have a royal with the spider gene that has affected them so much that you have to be watchful of of every move that they make, because when they're like soaking like this, because you never know if they're gonna be able to right themselves up or not. So after a nice soak, here she is. She's on the bed waiting for me to get everything ready for her. And I just put a few things out on the bed, a box, a small bed tray, a couple pillows around for her. I have to be very watchful of her activity because there's something else I want to tell you about the spider gene when it's pretty severe. So you may not notice this too much on royals that have a mild neurological condition, but something that can definitely affect them is the muscle condition. Wynter's muscle condition is so poor. She has such a hard time, just she will slip off things easily. She does not have strong muscles to help her grip onto things, and that is a big concern as well. Now, I've noticed Summer has a bit of a difficulty himself, but for her, it's worse. For her, it is way worse. So it's almost like her muscles don't work very much. Like she has very little control of them, very little use of them, which is really sad. The way she feels when I hold her is different from the way another royal feels. She's just softer. She doesn't have like a solid mass to her. That's because something within the muscles isn't right. I used to have fake foliage on the back of her enclosure. That's why I still have some hooks there. But the thing with her is that she always wants to climb that fake foliage, and then she falls because she does not have that good muscle control. So I just don't put anything in the back. She does have this really like big sturdy branch that she can use for for some exercise, and she's pretty good with it. She's like, nope, mom, Go get some rest, Wynter. You've had a nice soak. You've had some exercise. It's time to go get some rest. Get some sleep, dear. You had a rough night. And now I'm hanging out with Summer for a little bit. I'm also cleaning out his enclosure. He does have better use of his muscles overall, but still not the best. He does have a bit of a sturdier body with just I would say he just feels like there's more mass to him, but that's because he has better control of his muscles. Still not 100%, so that's a concern always. I'm just glad for him that his condition is nowhere near Wynter's, and he's able to do things a little bit better. I've never seen him corkscrewing. I'm still very watchful of him because the probability of him falling off places is just greater than regular royals. So I always do keep an eye on him when he is out. I keep an eye on everyone, but I'd keep a hawk eye on him. So being aware of the muscle condition of your spider ball python is crucial, guys. You've got to know where they're at with what they can do. I think Summer's had enough of the top tier, so I'm just going to help him off of here and get him into a more comfortable place for him. I think he'll like spending some time in the little basket area of the cat tree, so I'll go ahead and do that for him. And then we're going to wrap up the video, guys, from there. So just give me a second. Okay, here is little Summer, all nice and situated in the little basket. And he seems content now. So overall, guys, when you get yourself a spider ball python, brace yourself for, for the neurological challenge that your snake may face, and also some challenges that owning a spider ball python may present for you, the keeper. So just keep in mind, these guys don't do don't do well at all with live feeders. So if you are adamant about feeding live, this is not the right morph for you, especially the ones that are on that far more affected end of the neurological condition spectrum. So just keep that in mind. And if you already have one of these babies, one of these spider babies, just do your best to love them and care for them and to be aware of their needs. Guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for making it to the end of the video. I certainly appreciate all of your time here at Snake Nook. And I hope that this video has been helpful, or at least informative, or shed some light on this condition. I know that there are lots of experts and non-experts out there, and everyone's got their opinion, but you have seen for yourself through some footage of these guys what it is like for them, some of the challenges that they face, and some of the things that as a keeper I have to take into consideration. And owning one of these babies is not for everyone. Thank you once again for being here. I appreciate your time here at Snake Nook. Oh, guys, and I want to give you a heads up. I'm going to go ahead and take a break from long form for a while, maybe a couple weeks, and I may only be uploading shorts for the next few videos, but then I'll go ahead and start uploading long forms again pretty soon, so just bear with me. I do need a little bit of a break, but I will continue long form videos. I just need a couple of weeks off, and during that time I may just focus on some shorts for you all. Thank you for everything, guys. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and the like button, and we hope to see you here again next time. Y'all have a good one. Bye.